For over 30 years, C-SPAN has been a direct link to public affairs, politics, history, and nonfiction books, all gavel to gavel and all without commentary or commercials. Now C-SPAN is available in over 100 million homes across the nation, bringing you Washington your way. C-SPAN is provided as a public service by America's cable television companies.
Alrighty, we'll begin now. So, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the White House. Today marks the first White House press conference of the term, an occasion that we wish to host more consistently in comparison to last term. Today's press conference will primarily go over events and changes within White House staff, as well as to what is to come in the future for this term and this administration. Firstly, in addition to the new administration, staff at the White House has undergone changes, ensuring that this administration's goals and policies are met. Samuel Ryerson was hired as the very first administrative secretary, a position which was newly created by the current administration. This position will play a vital role in helping the management of documentation that is key to the administration and to this term. The press secretary of this term has been decided to be Akoya Aviator MD. And my principal deputy chief of staff, right here sitting next to me, is Isacam YT. Now I'll be handing off the next section to Icy.
Hello. Uh, so we've assigned Akoya uh, to continue to serve as the Director of Public Engagement while serving as the Press Secretary. The Director of Public Engagement position will be filled by one of our amazing interns that is applied and is interested in such an active department. In line with this goal, we have hired 8 outstanding interns for this administration, where we plan on utilizing them any way possible, allowing them to obtain jobs and elevate within the executive branch. As mentioned already, we have plans to make one of our various interns the director of White House Public Engagement, allowing them to become transparent, reliable, and effective to the American public. Another intern has worked effectively on today's transcript as well, ensuring that it was completed before time. We are also thrilled to continue the famous and eventful White House touring opportunities. Oh, I just got blown up. Okay, it's nice. I'm gonna continue. We are also thrilled to continue the famous and eventful White House tours. Touring opportunities will be announced prior to the touring dates. Uh, in light to in light of its consideration of reviving White House Counsel, this administration feels compelled not to bring this office back, as this decision serves at the best interests of the White House and its staff. Gonna hand it back over to Fallen.
Alright, thank you, Icy, and apologies to anyone that may have died in that recent incident. Moving on, though. Recently, we hosted a White House Independence Day Gala, which was hosted on Monday evening at the Rose Garden. We had a significant turnout and put on quite the fireworks show, of course, and we heavily thank the development team for adding in certain assets, for example, the tables and chairs, to the Rose Garden for the event. It was definitely what we would consider a success, and again, thank you to everyone that attended that event. Now, furthermore, a big event will be held tomorrow, this event being the first military salute. The President looks forward to formally greeting the military for the first time this term. On top of that, the release of this administration's Trello Board and White House staff roster will be available right after this press conference. So please be on the lookout for that announcement as it will contain vital information. And with that being said, this concludes the first press conference of this amazing administration. We will not hesitate to inform you if or when anything changes. Thank you all for listening and have a great rest of your evening. Now, if you have any questions, we're more than open to taking them. What exactly will these interns be doing? Good question. So, in the past, interns have not been fully utilized. We plan to change that. For example, having interns actually be involved with White House tours, giving them actual experience and allowing them to learn to perhaps take on bigger jobs one day and to get an understanding of further White House staff uh, obligations, responsibilities in a sense. And another thing that interns will be doing is helping with press conferences, or sorry, writing press conference transcripts. For example, we had an intern, Eugene the Preacher, assist in writing up this press conference transcript, and we'll utilize interns more in the future for that for that realm. Also, we'll have them reaching out to the press corps and working with the office of the press secretary. So yeah, thank you for that question. One Little Savage, is there anything you'd like to say? Is interns, I'm gonna assume you said child labor, and oh, slave labor. No, no, these are not slaves. They may not be getting paid a significant amount. VJ, also a great question. Yes, it will, assuming the interns work out and assuming that they are capable of progressing through their, I guess. What's up? Sorry, VJ. Anyway, yeah, it'll be harder to become an intern as time goes on, as these interns will progress, and then we will have a lack, or sorry, yeah, I guess a lack of need for more interns if we have staff positions filled up, because we will be limiting staff as to not create an excess amount and to, I essentially overflow White House staff with underutilized positions. We want every single position to have some sort of use, some sort of utilization, and we don't want people to just be sitting in positions and doing nothing, which has happened in the past, unfortunately. AB, as for your question, 14 SS on me getting bombed. Um, yeah, that's not great that I got bombed, obviously, but I'm sure SS is doing their best. They do have a protectee online that is, of course, higher priority than me, so I think that's more important that they kept the protectees safe. Yes, One Little Savage. The protectee lived, did he not? This conference was pre-planned with SS. They were aware of it. Who blew the bomb? He was blowing gas. Pineapple on pizza? No. Anyone that puts pineapple on pizza is absolutely disgusting, and they're a disgrace. Any more serious questions? Is this a serious question, Savage? Okay, have at it. How do you rate these few days so far? What have you accomplished? Me personally? White House. I mean, we've been working tirelessly on updating and creating new documentation, as well as ensuring Bentley's day to day plans are carried with. So, yeah, we've been doing a lot of work, whether it be behind the scenes or something like this, and we will be continuing to produce that work, hopefully more in the public eye as we begin more White House tours and host more White House press conferences and potentially galas in the future. Oscar, if you could please repeat your question as I was responding to Savages. Seems we have a breacher. Oscar, will you be repeating your question? Would you like to be brought up to the event stage so you can speak? Do you feel it's a lot of work for an intern? I don't think that interns have a significant amount of workload, but they have enough to where it's a utilized position. What is this administration's plan for foreign affairs in the UN? What has been done so far knowing the inactivity? Well, that was outlined a lot during the platform that was released during Bentley's campaign. However, I can say that the administration has actively been participating in foreign affair events such as state visits, and we will continue to work with UN leadership, especially as XKen, someone that works well with us here in USA, will be the Secretary General of the UN. We hope that we can continue to maintain well-rounded relationships, and like I said, we will be continuing to push for more presence at state visits and events, hopefully to encourage further activity. VJ, I'm sorry, I missed your question too, and I know Savage has one that with these more White events, will it become more and more dangerous for U.S. citizens, White House staff? We heard. Yeah, I mean, criminal activity is always a good thing, keeps law enforcement active, and I would not necessarily say that it will become more dangerous, but I mean, we will consistently be hosting White House events. I'm sure SS will have plenty of time to prepare for those future events, and they'll be more than capable of dealing with them. Does the president plan to establish diplomatic relations with new countries? Yes, we have no reason to not establish diplomatic relations with new countries. How does the president plan to work with Congress this term? I mean, we'll be consistently coordinating with the vice president and many senators and representatives as the term goes on. We will continuously meet with them as needed, as well as to work on legislation and similar things in regards to Congress. Will embassies be possible in the future? That is mainly a development concern. I can't really speak on that. Is USA still the number? I mean, that's an interesting question to ask me, but I don't believe that there's any corruption present within the government. Will any more events be held like the July 4th event soon? As I said, galas will be hosted as the time goes on. So events similar to that will be hosted, yes. Maybe not like the July 4th event, as it is an exclusive event for the fireworks and it's special to our nation, Independence Day. But I can assure you that galas and semi similar events will be hosted. Savage, can you repeat your question, please? 1 to 10, how good is this term so far? Are you asking on an enjoyment level, or are you asking on how we've been performing? I'm gonna assume it's on the performance. So far, I'll just go with a 10 out of 10. We've been doing great. And enjoyment, I'll go with a 10 out of 10 as well. It may be a little biased, but yes, it's been fun so far. And it's only been 6 days, so it's kind of hard to gauge how we've been doing in just 6 days, but so far I think we've done well. Can I speak to IC who never talked? If you want to ask you a question, feel free. With the president and vice president being more involved in foreign affairs, is this one of the plans to improve international activity? I think it can go in line with improving international activity as We are currently the most active nation, so us participating with other nations and bringing more attention to them in a sense and working closely with them may encourage further activity with them. So I guess you could say that yes, it could be beneficial in a sense to international activity. Has the White House been working closely with the Department of State during state visits? We have attended state visits, yes. The vice president has attended some, the president has attended some. We've actively been working to have an executive member, an executive presence there. And so, yes, to your question. What's the hardest problem with the office? What's the hardest problem the office is struggling with as of now? Are you talking about the White House? Like White House staff? Struggling with, I wouldn't necessarily saying that we're struggling with anything right now. We're proactively working to get everything fully set up still, and we're proactively working on training the new interns to progress within White House staff. I would not, again, necessarily say that we face any major issues or complications. And I don't think we're struggling in any aspect either. Will you please, will you free Iceman, please? Okay. Are there any other questions? I have a ping in general. Maybe this is one. Can I say something in regards to the UN? Demonic. Sure. You want me to just invite you up to the stage? I'll let you come up to the stage. You can say it in here. It'll look a little weird if you speak from where you're standing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you can be.
Okay.
Heard.
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to address the recent inactivity that has been seen within the United Nations. All I can say at this very moment, the United States, Sweden, among other nations, are looking for new member nations. We are actively combing through different groups to see potential, members. Um, like I say, the United Nations is a collective effort. The activity is not up to any one nation. All nations must work together to ensure the future, and hopefully, in the coming days and weeks, we can start to see some activity. I know at a recent state visit that I had with the U.S., we Anthony was talking about potential members, and yeah, that's really all I can say is that we're actively seeking out member states to help address the recent activity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Demonic. How does the president plan to work with the Union Party? I think just working with Congress overall. That's a hard question to ask. The president isn't directly involved with either party, and no president really has been. That's party affairs are typically up to the party chairmen and party staff to deal with. Are you asking if I like the Union Party? I plead the fifth on that question. Are there any other questions? All right. I'm not seeing any other questions.
For over 30 years, C-SPAN has been a direct link to public affairs, politics, history, and nonfiction books, all gavel to gavel and all without commentary or commercials. Now C-SPAN is available in over 100 million homes across the nation, bringing you Washington your way. C-SPAN is provided as a public service by America's cable television companies.